good.
Good morning. I'd like to call this October 12th, October 19, 2022 meeting of the Board of Trustees of the GRS system to order. Mr. Nibbs, can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Barry,
Present.
Trustee Dorsey,
Sorry to interrupt, but
Present.
you have an appointment soon.
Trustee Liger,
Yeah.
Trustee McDonough, absent. Ex officio member Richardson, Trustee Russell,
Present.
Trustee Smith, absent. Chairman Calwood,
Present.
5 present, 2 absent.
Okay, we have a quorum. At this time, let's move on.
I have a concern, Mr. Chairman. I heard that there was no power in St. Thomas, or it's rotating power, and it will affect the participation from especially the St. Thomas members, Gruff and other people that wanted to participate. So I was thinking that we should postpone the meeting till the Friday after we come back from the conference, and then, you know, come to the public and have the public participate. Right now, I don't know how much public participating right now, but it seems like the power is affecting our participation. So I want to make a motion to reschedule the meeting for the Friday. I think it's the 20. I'm checking the date right now. Okay. The 28th.
Mr. Nibbs has mediation on that date. We have a mediation and a case on the 28th.
Okay. Well, what about the first week in November?
Yeah.
What date? What date?
November 2nd or 3rd.
The second works for me.
So there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
So the motion on the floor is to postpone today's meeting and reschedule it for November 2nd or 3rd. Motion made by Trustee Russell, seconded by Trustee Dorsey. Have a roll call, Mr. Nibbs.
Any
Trustee Barry.
discussion? Any discussion?
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's important after the public upheaval that we have the public participate. And if there's no power for the public to participate, I think we should postpone the meeting to give the public sufficient time, if they want to participate and comment. And today is in the day because the power in St. Thomas is affected. So that's the discussion and the reason.
Okay, I would just say, you finished, Trustee Russell?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, Trustee Dorsey, I would just say that I just called Mr. Nibbs this morning. My power been out from last night. It came on about 15 minutes, like an hour ago, and it went right back out. So that's why I'm here today. I would have been home myself, so I can imagine what's going on with our other constituents. But at least where I live, on the part of the island, we don't have any power. So even what the system gave me, I couldn't power it up. So that's why I'm here. So
Any other? Sorry, finish.
I think it's a good recommendation, but we'll see how it goes.
Any other trustees care to chime in? Roll call, Mr. Lips.
We have power in St. Croix, but if the power outage would affect the attendance of important people, I would agree with it. I would agree with the postponement.
Say important people, like who are you referring to?
Well, when we talk about, like what Attorney Russell was saying, the trustees and the public who would like to come to view their opinion, and if they can't do so, then I think we would be robbing them the due right to come in and do so.
Anything, Mr. Bory?
Ready for the vote?
I don't know who is affected. I don't know the power situation. When we have meetings, we just have one or two people calling. The question is, first, what happens if on that date, whatever that date is, we have another power outage? I don't understand that. So I don't agree that, and I don't know the date, the alternative date. None of us had an opportunity to check whether we are available on that new date. So.
Well, can you?
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
I don't think we should. I think we should move along with the meeting.
My take, I think we should move along with the meeting. I don't see anything on the agenda that's dependent on suggestions or comments from the retirees. We meet every month, so if they don't get to put their concerns on the record this month, they put it on next month. That's my take on it. I'm looking at the agenda and I don't see anything that's dependent upon what retirees would say, today. That's my take.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have a problem either way. If the members want to continue the meeting, I have no problem. And if they want to postpone it, it's like I said, we have power here. It doesn't affect me in any way.
Well, let's take a vote. I only have one vote, and so let's take a vote and see where the votes fall, and move accordingly.
Point of information on the discussion. Trustee Russell, did you give some dates for that week?
Yeah, and the second, listen, the Gruff members that I call that wanted to participate in the meeting don't have power. And some of those members wanted to participate in the meeting because of the public upheaval of what's been in the news and all of the public radio stations and the talk shows. And just, yeah.
My question to you again is, how does any of the comments or suggestions that they would put on the record today impact or change any other items on today's agenda?
I don't even know.
I am not discounting
I don't know, and the issue is if they can't participate, we don't know either how it would have impacted. That's why you are on the side of caution and having people participate, especially after what has been all over the radio, and you give them all the opportunity to participate, and you lay that issue to rest if it's any issue. I think that that it moving forward, it deprives them of that kind of opportunity. So
okay, so let's have a vote and see where the votes fall, because I'm looking at the agenda and I have yet to see anything that's going to be impacted, altered, or changed based on comments from the retirees. So let's see where the votes fall and go from there.
So point of information to Trustee Liger. Trustee Liger, I was just getting clarification on the comment you made in reference to, or the Trustee Russell, sorry, the comment you made in reference to the people of importance that may not have access to today's meeting. Where I sit, the people of importance are the people that we represent as trustees. So it's not necessarily a consultant or anybody else. It's the people that we represent are the most important people that should be hearing what's going on to this meeting today. So I'm in 100% agreement with that. I do have a problem moving forward that we have the power situation, and as Trustee Bori indicated, we may come back and have a next power situation. But we don't control that. We can control this right now, and I think we should move in that direction.
So then you vote accordingly. Mr. Nibs, can I have a roll call?
Just before you proceed, Mr. Chairman, I just received a call from Trustee Smith, and she is saying that she too are affected by the power outage in St. John's, and she tried to call, she couldn't get through to GERS. So I don't know if you want to reach out to her and call her, so she would be in attendance. But like I said, I have no problem either way. If the vote says let us go to the meeting, well, I am here. Hello.
Well, the fact that Trustee Smith is affected by the power should give us pause in moving forward.
And vote accordingly. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, good. So,
Mr. Nibs,
Trustee Liger.
can I have a roll call?
Trustee Bari,
The vote is for
It took to postpone the meeting.
No.
Trustee Dorsey,
Yes,
Trustee Liger,
No voting.
not voting. Trustee McDonald, absent. Trustee Russell,
Yes.
Trustee Smith, absent. Trustee Colwood,
No.
2 yes, 2 no, 1 not voting, 2 absent.
All right, motion fails. Let's move forward. Next item on the agenda, comments and suggestions from retirees.
Yes, good morning. This is Aquanet Chinnery,
Morning.
a retiree. And first comments is the current WAPA outage viewer is showing over 21,000 customers out. So just in reference to that, it might have some bearing as to whether people can participate. My comments is I don't have any vote because I'm just a retiree, but I am not in favor of what happened at the special meeting. I attend all the meetings, and I'm not in favor. And not that it matters, but I have nothing against Mr. Nibs. I have interacted with him for years while I was a government employee. But I think that given the current status of the system, to give Mr. Nibs that kind of raise when he also has other benefits, such as the travel and I believe housing, I would be in agreement with Trustee Bowery's position, and I'm sorry to see and sad to see that happened. And so my question as a retiree, I know we have the special bonus. I actually had it pulled up on my phone, but I can't pull it up again as to what it's called. But the payment that comes through the lottery. I believe there's also possibility of legislation or legislatively passed cost of living allowances, and I would request that the board consider the current status with the over 8% inflation and what it is doing to retirees such as myself. I only have 20 years of service. I'm sure there's others who have less than that, and our annuities our buying power is being greatly affected, unlike the federal employees or unlike persons on Social Security who have cost of living allowances. We do not have that. And so it is affecting Virgin Islanders. And so I would like that to be considered, since there was given much consideration to Mr. Nibs and his situation. I know that a lot of retirees seem to have as an issue the loans. I don't have that as an issue. I only took out one while I was employed by the government and don't have any intention of taking out any others. But I know that is a concern. But for some of us who are paying very close attention to what inflation is doing, we would like to have that issue brought to the fore at some point. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that, for those comments, duly noted. Do you have any other retirees? All right, hearing none. Comments, do we have any comments and suggestions from active members?
Point of information, Chair. Do we have
Pull
any...
up. All right.
Point of information, Chair. How many active or retirees are actually up online right now? What does it count?
I don't know what's irrelevant.
Huh?
What is irrelevant?
I was trying to see if any of those individuals were able to actually participate, call in, or view in. Do we know? Is this just through the net, or are we on the government channel? That was the next question. Are we on the government channel again today?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
All right. Secretary's minutes. In reference to the minutes from the September 22nd, 2022 meeting, I did have a few corrections or things that I saw that needed to be changed. On page 1, in the investment officer's report, should read Mr. Leandro Festino and Sean. No, correct. I'm sorry. The second line, this sentence that starts at September 22nd, 2022, the ward report should be inserted between 2022 and was. So you should read the September 22nd, 2022 report was explained to the board. On page 9, Casino Control Commission exercise the additional option for another year, strike until the. So you should read exercise the additional option for another year beginning, strike of beginning October 5th, 2022, ending on October 4th, 2023. That's page 9. I believe that's all the corrections I have for the September 22nd report.
Recording in progress.
Mr. Chair, I would note that in the section where it talks about the disability cases, there's a typo. It says, I believe the number 5, but then it has 4 in parentheses. So I think, I forget what page, it may be page 9, but it should be 4, the word 4, and then 4 in parentheses, I believe.
Page 9.
I don't have it up, but I remember reading it. Wherever it talks about the disability cases.
It's on page 4, and there are 4 cases.
Found it? Page 4. Oh yeah, okay. So is it 4, 5, 4? So there are 4 cases. That's the same as a NIPT?
Yes, sir. It was 5 last month, a couple of months ago, but it's 4 cases left for legal to take deal.
Okay. Any other corrections or edits? Can I have a motion to accept the minutes from the September 22nd, 2022 meeting?
So,
Moved by Trustee Bowery. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, moved by Trustee Bowery, second by Trustee Liger. Can I have a roll call, Mr. Nix?
Trustee Barry,
yes.
Trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
Trustee Liger,
Yes.
Trustee McDonald absent, Trustee Russell,
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Oh, you got me. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Chairman Calwood,
Yes.
6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, with respect to the minutes from the September 28th special meeting, on page 1, in the first paragraph, the final sentence, the word trustee should be stricken. So this last sentence should just simply read, a quorum was established with 6 trustees present.
That's the last paragraph of, first paragraph, the last sentence?
Correct.
Yeah, trustee should be stricken from the, yeah, okay.
That's all the edits, corrections I had. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes from the September 28th special meeting?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Dorsey. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Bowery. Roll call, Mr. Nibbs, please.
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
trustee Liger,
Yes.
trustee McDonald, absent. Trustee Russell. Trustee Russell, absent. Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Calwood,
Yes.
5 yes, 2 absent.
With respect to the October 4th, minutes from the October 4th special meeting, on page 1, the second to last paragraph, 1, 2, 8 lines up from the bottom of the paragraph, where the word augments should be arguments. And then a few words over, I think evenly should be even. Right. Even is uneven.
Also, Mr. Chairman, the last paragraph, second sentence, Mr. Bowdy then stated, should be stated.
Yeah. And then in that same paragraph, second to last line, right before the question mark, it should be expires. I don't know. I think that should be expire, not expires. I'm not sure.
Now, I'm just saying this is coming verbatim, so.
Yeah. Those are all the edits I had for the October 4th minutes.
Point of information again.
Yes, sir.
The Makita date in November, I thought the date we had agreed to was the 14th. As I said, I wasn't available on the 15th.
That was stated the 14th or the 15th, the Monday or the Tuesday. And I sent an email to them indicating that either the 14th or the 15th. That was what was expressed. I have not yet a return as yet, a response.
Okay. That's it.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes from the October 4th special meeting?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Dorsey.
Okay.
Is that a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Bowery. Can I have a roll call, Mr. Nibbs?
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
trustee Liger,
Yes.
trustee McDonald, absent. Trustee Russell,
Yeah.
trustee Smith, absent. Chairman Calwood,
Yes, Mr. Nibbs, I'm just having a problem.
okay, I'm sorry. 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay. Communications and correspondences.
Just give me a chance, please. Trying to see if I can bring it up. Okay. Correspondence has to do with Act 8645 that was passed, signed into law by the governor on the 29th of September. It has to do with the act appropriating funds from the BI lottery in year 2022 to the government employees retirement system for bonus shortfalls from fiscal year 2021 and 2022. This act mandates that the Virgin Islands lottery transfer not less than $2,270,000 of net income by July 15th of this year. Wanted to say that there was bonus payment that were appropriated in the form of $3,434,994.14. We did receive those monies for fiscal year 2018, 2019, and 2020. We have done whatever we have to do in-house with the files, and those files are with the software provider for testing as of today. That's as of yesterday. I haven't gotten any update as of today. However, this was a very tedious process where we had to go back and manipulate old files. We had to go back to 2018, 2019, 2020, and remove and filter out any deceased members that received those bonuses back in those years. So it was very tedious and time consuming. But we did our part, and it's now with the software provider. However, this act also appropriates for 2021 bonus shortfall of $961,705, and also for 2022, $1,196,567.00. So as you can see, we usually would issue these bonuses prior to Thanksgiving. So we now have at least 5 years of bonuses to submit, and hopefully we'll get those out by Thanksgiving or before the end of the year, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Other piece of correspondence has to do with the Act 8562. This is really reducing monies that were due to the GRS from the revolving fund. Here we go, of $6 million. These monies was due to us as direct contributions from the Internal Revenue Matching Fund. And what this is doing is striking these amounts out of the law. I guess the intent is that since we received the bond issue amounts, they would delete these amounts from the line item from the budget. I'm a little confused with Section 4 said any funds not used to pay the debt service payments from the Internal Revenue Matching Fund must be transferred to the Government Employees Retirement System for contributions to the system. So its amount is about $6 million of outstanding contributions, which is A. And there's GRS direct contribution of $4 million. It's in its entirety. So, so what they're doing is striking these amounts out of the law that was passed. So I don't think we'll be seeing any of these monies since we have received the amounts in as a lump sum in the bond note. This email came from Nathan Simmons on September 29th. This was a notice to us that the amounts in 158 million rounded off would have been transferred to our accounts at State Street from the funding note on October 1, the payment, and we did receive it. And so just want to let you know that. That's the end of my presentation for the correspondences.
Okay, item 7, Chairman's report. Don't have anything to report at this time. Item 8, Administrator's report.
Okay, on September 23rd, in meetings, presentation, and appearances, I had a meeting with the Havenside Mall management in regards to potential tenant. That same day, we had a meeting with the management of WICO. 28th, obviously, we had a special board meeting on October 4th, a special board meeting, which we elected officers. On the 7th, the team in regards to completion of SOPs. This is a project that is going on for quite some time. We want to make sure that this is done where we have all our standard operation procedures in one place and completed. On the 12th, Budget Committee met with in regards to the Havenside Mall. And yesterday, I was a guest at the St. Croix retiree group meeting in Christiansted, St. Croix. Member services.
This meeting was that, sorry, what meeting was that, Mr. Nibbs?
St. Croix retiree. I was invited.
You say you're a guest at a meeting. I didn't hear what meeting it is.
I was a guest, and which I did let the chairman know. Over the years, we have been invited to group meets, St. Croix retiree group meetings, to Groff meetings, to Rotary. So I would go and represent the GRS, and if they have questions, I would answer them. If not, I'd bring back questions and try to resolve questions for them. I was a guest at the St. Croix retiree group meeting. Is there any questions?
What was the topic? This is Trustee Dorsey. What was the topic, Mr. Nibbs?
Well, there's no special topic. I didn't have anything written down. I've done this before many times before this group. I did open up with the bond note, let them know that we received the bond note and what the situation is with the bond note and what our plans were in regards to, in the investments and things like that, in regards to meeting any shortfalls. Obviously, some of them did see the information because it was in my annual report to the legislature. And then I opened up the meetings. Some meetings were about retroactive, some questions were about retroactive pay, that they feel that they didn't receive their refunds, meaning that we do not recalculate pensions. And they went back as far as 2001 and 2011 also with Act 7261 with a 3% increase. I think the law was just rescinded. I do have to do some research, but these are questions that they pose to me in regards to GRS. Some were personal. I have their phone numbers, and we'll do the research and get back to them. I think after that, there was a question by Mr. Foy in regards to my increase and the raise, and he asked the question, and I responded the best I could, and that was it.
Mr. Nibbs, was it well attended? Was it?
Oh yes, very well attended. Very well attended. It was at an expat restaurant in Christiansted.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for going.
Thank you. This is not something new. I've been invited to all groups, Rotary, been on television, state show. Unless I think 1 or 2 times I did ask maybe a board member to attend with me. I'm not too sure. But we do television programs. I've been in just about all the radio stations in the Virgin Islands. I go before Rotary groups when invited, League of Women Voters. And since the hurricane and the pandemic, Rough and the St. Croix Retiree Group had no meetings, but usually I would go at least 2, 3, 4 times a year when invited to present to these groups.
Well, Mr. Nibbs, in the future, if you need a trustee, I don't have a problem assisting you in attendance to answer any questions that I can answer. Anything else, I'll forward to the chair.
But you see, the problem is you put yourself in a funny situation. Usually I would rather have a trustee there, because unless it's a town hall meeting, because you have a lot of forceful questioning, and you don't want to get in compromising positions. So usually if they ask me questions and it has to do with, I would say, well, I'll make my recommendation to the board, but the board would have to make that decision.
So, Mr. Nibbs, what's a compromise position?
Town hall meetings is where we invite the trustees. That has been the practice. Now, if you want to come to a meeting, I would advise the chairman, which I did, let him know that I was going to be attending. And, if he wants to be in attendance himself, or he assigns someone to be there, fine. But I'm going to tell you, it could be very, okay, you don't want to put yourself in a compromised position. That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Nibbs, you keep saying compromise. What is that? I'm not familiar with it.
There may be questions where they ask you, and you don't want to, without further discussion with the other trustees, to collaborate and discuss and see the pros and cons. You may go out on a limb and say something that you have to pull back.
Yeah, but I wouldn't speak about nothing
Okay,
if it's
Mr.
an executive
Dorsey.
session. You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Nibbs? If it's in executive session, I'm not going to speak about it, but if it's in the open general public like we're speaking now, for example, your salary increase, that's in open. I could justify that if I was asked that question yesterday. So I'm not sure the compromise for where I sit.
And
That's
as I
just an
said,
executive session, then no, I ain't going to speak about it.
Mr. Nibbs, can we
I am
continue?
not sure how this board is thinking, but I know what the president is. The board had no objections to me going out and speaking when asked to. Like I said, I would let the chairman know. If the chairman wants to have someone there, then he will make that decision.
When is the next town hall meeting scheduled, Mr. Nibbs?
We haven't come up with a schedule as yet, but I promise you, I think we should have at least 4 for the year.
I agree. I agree. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. In regards to the member services, there are 196 applications still outstanding. Majority of the applications are in 2022 and 2023. As you can see, in 2023, the total of 248 applications came in, only processed 80 at this time, 168 outstanding. For 2023 fiscal year, we have received 4 applications thus far. Life certificates, there are 4 life certificates that were suspended, that were not returned to us. Disability cases, there are 4 disability cases pending, which are with our legal department. Refunds, as you can see, so far we have processed $8,460,360.54 in refunds. Of this amount, regular, meaning non-vested, was $7,331,706.50. That were non-vested, that were processed out of the $8.4 million. Debt benefits, they're from October to September 2022, there were $1,772,778.93 in debt benefits. For the October 14, 2022 payment, there were 8,737 members that were paid, retirees, for this pay period, past pay period. paid out $10,972,850.86. 17 members from October 1 to the 14th were added to the payroll. In the same period, there were 13 members that were deleted, removed from the payroll. And like I said, the gross payroll is 10.9 for the October 14th payment. Loans, we have 1,344 units still left since the end of September. Personal loans, $1,283, and mortgages, 61 mortgages, for a total of 1,344. Total outstanding grand total is $14,725,825.21. Operations, Casino Control Commission. We did have some issues with, we had to maintain or make repairs was done to that building. And also there's some other small projects and upgrading part. We are currently awaiting an estimate to submit so we can review and complete those projects in the St. Croix office. The roof in St. Thomas complex is completed. And we're waiting for punch lists and final manufacturer's warranty. That was a long project and finally completed. The air conditioner project, hopefully we'll complete that by end of this month or early November. The generator that we have discussed, the new generator, we sent out quotes, and there were, one person was approved, which was import supply. Deposit was provided to that vendor. Estimated arrival is in January 2023. The Havenside Mall, the warehouse demolition, we project to start in October 2022, hopefully by the end of this month. I know there's a kickoff meeting, I think next week. We're waiting on a demolition permit. Warehouse J, this is just the schedule of what is going to occur. Like I said, we have a meeting with the architect on the 16 and 14. I think they did that. This report was done before they completed, but Ms. Clenningham could respond if questions are asked about that meeting. Hotel development, we are waiting CZM process for this development. Hopefully this hotel will be completed by the target date of November 2023. With the museum project at the White House, we're waiting word from Historic Preservation Legal Team. I think there was a draft MOU. Also with the Coal Woman bronze statue, there was a draft MOU awaiting response from their legal team. Rental and collections, Exhibit A, not too happy about it, but this is what we have here. We collected in September $46,748.19. Total for fiscal year is $1,397,399.36. Of that amount, rental payments $908,666.15. We have arrearages in rental of $59,037.32, and electrical $51,970.54. A total of $111,007.86. We're having some issues with the leases with Department of Justice. I know that there's a meeting that is requested in regards to our final email to complete this negotiation. And if they don't adhere, we would issue notice to quit. Same thing with Department of Justice. We gave them a deadline, and they have not. I'm not sure if they respond. I can't remember. Ms. Clendenin can respond, but I know that we plan to issue them a notice to quit also, because we have negotiated, and with the division of personnel lease, it's up at Government House. It's been there for quite a while. Not too sure why, but they're asking to come back to the table, and we're not going to do that. VI Housing Finance Authority. I'm sorry, it says Virgin Islands Finance Housing Authority. Housing Finance Authority, our former tenant. We're waiting for property becoming inspectors to inspect the location so we can begin the potential tenant lease. VI Housing Finance Authority is one of the tenants that have arrearages in electrical, and hopefully we can rectify that in due time. They were very good tenants, but they owe us some monies for electrical. FEMA provided a final approval on September 1 for the funds. This is the schedule of Exhibit A. You can see exactly where the rental and electrical arrearages lie. Department of Justice, Department of Personnel. We do have a small amount, 2 months arrearages for Pleasant. This is very surprising because they were one of our best tenants. They were always current. And then we have the electrical, a small amount for Rescare, and the VI Housing Finance Authority of $5,692. And they were also good tenants, so it's just a matter of the timing of payment, I would say. But Ms. Glendinning Gums can respond if she have any further updates on those delinquencies. That's the end of that report.
Point of information, Chair.
Trustee Lawson.
Mr. Nibbs, the emails you sent to the Division of Personnel and the Department of Justice, is that the same email you sent twice for the same reason before you say you're going to send a notice to quit? Hello?
Sent a letter. I mean, you know, trustee management has to make certain decisions when we can try to resolve certain things beforehand. We send them a final notice. We told them that if they don't get, this is it. I thought I saw an email came yesterday, and Ms. Glendinning can respond, let me know. But I saw Ms. Glendinning asking for us to sit down and talk about it. Ms. Glendinning wanted to know, well, why we need to speak about it. So she said, okay, I'll sit down, but you know, we're not going to change our position. And you know, after this meeting, we'll file a notice. If we can't resolve it, we'll file a notice to quit.
So, Mr. Nibbs, a notice to quit, and what time period you're talking? Today's the end of this month?
They asked for a meeting on the 2nd, I think, in November. Ms. Glendinning, you maybe can, this is the personnel. You can chime in from what I saw in the email. Ms. Glendinning responded and indicated there's no reason why we should be meeting, because we already told you if you hadn't responded by a certain time, we'll file a notice to quit. So they responded, but they said they wanted to sit down and discuss it again. So we said we don't see no reason why, but okay, we'll sit and talk to you. But we're not going to change our mind. This is what our position is. Because we negotiated. Everything was negotiated. Property procurement between Division of Personnel, it's up and sitting in Government House on someone's desk. And someone at Government House did speak to me, I'm not going to say who, trying to determine why, if we can reduce it. And I said no.
Can you do both? Send a notice to quit and still attend the meeting?
Just a matter of days. You know, you could do it, yes.
Mr. Nibbs, is that the end of your report?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Committee reports, item 9. The budget committee met on October 12th, a week ago. We vetted and forwarded to the full board the Havenside fiscal year 2023 budget. I'd like to thank those that were responsible for including a summary that explained the areas where there was a significant change between fiscal year 2022 and 2023. I think that made the process a lot easier. It eliminated a lot of questions, and I just wanted to give you guys kudos for that. Any other committees? All right, Treasurer's report.
I have a question, Chair, for the board, the budget committee. I've made this request before when Trustee Trustee Bory was the chair, and I'll make it again. I would like to be
I already, I
notified
took care of it.
of the
I
board
took care of it.
meetings
I took
in
care
the
of it.
future.
I took care of it.
Okay.
All right. Treasurer's report.
Good morning, Board Chair of the Trustees. This
Morning.
is the Government Employees Retirement System Schedule of Receipts and Disbursements for the month ending September 30th, 2022. We have a total collected for the month of September of $17,708,096 for year-to-date collection of $262,318,969. We paid out annuity of $21,476,253 for the month of September year-to-date. $268,653,172. Administrative expenses was $1,174,017 year-to-date. $15,163,499. We had refunds of contribution of $798,784 year-to-date. $9,391,725. Total disbursements, $24,492,513. Year-to-date, $293,540,627. We have a net cash deficit of $6,784,417 for the month of September. Year-to-date, net cash deficit of $31,221,659. For the Havenside Mall, we have total collection for the month of $322,711. Year-to-date, $3,687,858. Total expense for the month of September is $646,684. Net cash deficit of $323,973. Year-to-date expense, $3,055,587, and a net cash surplus of $632,271. That's the end of the Treasurer's report, Board Chair.
Thank you.
Point of information, Chair, to Ms. Jeremiah. So, Ms. Jeremiah, we have a drawdown year to date of 140 million, right? We withdrew from the system. Hello? Hello?
She's frozen.
Is Jeremiah frozen? I don't know if she can hear you. You might have to log out and log back. There you go.
All right.
Right on, Dulcie.
Ms. Jeremiah?
You're muted.
I'm at Havenside, so the power went. That's what happened. Okay.
Ms. Jeremiah, just a quick question. So we've drawn down 140 million year to date.
Correct.
Okay, and we just got the October payment from the funding note. So at this point, with the additional monies that are coming in every month or every quarter, however it comes into the system, do we need to continue to draw down at this point for this year?
Yes, because remember, the money is going straight to State Street to be invested. So the money is not coming into the local GRS banks. It's going to the investment portfolio.
Okay, so since it's going into the portfolio, and that's just starting now, so there's really nothing to come off of that to bring back into the system, is what you're saying. There's no return on investment in this short period of time for that money. That's just too short of a
That's just
period.
coming out already.
So we're looking, what, a year down the road before we start to see something coming back? Since we changed the investment allocation? This Jeremiah?
That's a question for the investment advisor, not her.
She froze up again.
That's an investment question. I think that's.
We ain't there yet. Makita gonna be here today?
No, I think it's submitted the report. The investment officer's report.
We need to accept.
Oh, sorry. You have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
So, Nibs, you have a motion to accept the treasurer's report. It was moved by Trustee Dorsey, seconded by Trustee Barry. Can I have a roll call, please?
Does that mean everybody's gone?
I'm dead sharing. It's launching.
Does that mean everybody's
Mr. Nibs.
I don't grab that, Mikey.
Yes.
Mr. Nibs. Let's take a 5-minute recess. We'll reconvene in 5 minutes. I think that's what we can try to share here.
Yeah, I know.
Just someone see if you can see if Nibs on.
Yeah, he's on.
Oh, okay, Bobby.
My name's on St. Croix. Oh, I went over here.
The power went over here?
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
All right, there was a motion to accept the treasurer's report. It was moved by Trustee Dorsey, was seconded by Trustee Barry. We have a roll
Okay.
call.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm okay. Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
Trustee Liger,
Yes.
Trustee McDonald, absent. Trustee Russell? Trustee Russell? Absent. Trustee Smith? Trustee Smith? Absent. Chairman Calwood?
Yes.
4 yes, 3 absent.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, other trustees. This is an update of the investment for 2022. Also, essentially, an update of the end of the fiscal year ending 2022 as well. So for the month ending September 30th, total plan returned negative 2.6% for the month. Fiscal year to date, the portfolio is down about negative 7.7%. Our fixed income portfolio was down for the month around 2.9%, but outperformed its benchmark, which is a Bloomberg US aggregate, by 1.4%. Fiscal year to date, our fixed income portfolio is down about 10.6%, but it has outperformed its benchmark, again, the Bloomberg US Ag, by essentially 4%. Our total alternative portfolio for the month was down 1.1%, but outperformed its benchmark, which is the S&P 500 plus 3%, by 7.9%. Fiscal year to date, our alternative portfolio as well has performed well, was up 5.8% for the fiscal year, and strongly outperformed the benchmark, which is again the S&P 500 plus 3%, by 18.7%. What does that correspond to in dollars? We ended the month at approximately $355.2 million in assets on the asset value. So we began the month at approximately $384.9 million. We did have a net cash flow of $20 million out of the portfolio to pay benefits and expenses. We had income of about $711,000. We had an unrealized loss for the month of about $10 million, which brought us to that ending market value of $355.2 million. Fiscal year to date, we began the fiscal year at approximately $436.6 million. We had a net cash flow, and this is also reflecting the $89 million we received from the funding note in April. So we had a net cash flow of about $51 million from the portfolio. We had income about $8.7 million for the fiscal year. We did have an unrealized loss in the portfolio of about $38.9 million, which brings us to that ending market value of $355 million or $355.2 million. As it relates to fees paid for services, we had no fees that we paid in our calendar month to date. We've paid roughly $323,000 calendar year to date, and fiscal year to date, we've paid about $425,000 in investment management consultant and custodian bank fees. Mr. Chair, trustees, that ends my report for the month ending September 30th, 2022, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Question.
Right.
The report you just gave, this was based on before the change in the asset allocation, right? This is yes. Okay,
yes, Trustee Dawson.
So going forward, Mr. Henderson, going forward, right? Is there any way, if it's not too much, that we can run a simultaneous analysis of what we agreed to as a board in changing the asset allocation and we were presently at? Can you follow that as a chart that you could share with us from month to month?
Yes, Trustee Dorsey. As we change that allocation to get back into equities, then this report itself will change as well. So if you go to the first slide that showed the performance, so instead of as we do get into equities, then you'll see added section in there that will talk to total equities and stuff like that. So it will be reflected in as we fund. It will be reflected in my subsequent monthly reports going forward.
So Mr. Henderson, I wasn't really referring to I guess what Makita said in their report of moving the equities over, I guess, our funds, into equities over a 6-month period, right?
Mm-hmm.
They call it dollar cost averaging, but I don't really call that dollar cost averaging in their report. I mean, their letter, I guess it's their report to us. I was referring more to, and I guess maybe you could do it annually so it doesn't harass you as much. But I was just looking at where we're at today before we agreed to move, and then see where we're going, because with the equity, there's a lot of swings in the market right now. So I would just like to see how it pans out. It would show we as a board if we got that right. The reason why I say that too is because in the same Akita report, they still talk about the strategies that they're going to bring to us at some point in the future to help us offset this situation that we as trustees put ourselves in, right? So we sign off on it, but now they're saying in their document today that they're going to bring a presentation on those so-called 5 strategies, right? That they mentioned to us as insurance. They called it insurance as a hedge, but they never identified it. So now they're talking about identifying it in the document we have today. I mean, I'm looking forward to even seeing the strategies before, prior to the meeting, so I can have questions for the meeting. So if you could work on that part, I would appreciate as well, because you're looking at the same report from Makita today.
No, I'm looking at the report I generated.
Right, but you got a chance
Currently.
to look at Makita's report.
I saw Makita submitted a memorandum to the trustees.
Okay.
I did
right.
see the memorandum.
You saw that, right?
Yes, I did see the memorandum.
Yeah. So that's what I was referring to, and related to what you're doing, right?
Okay.
That your report. I did not see your report. I didn't get a copy of it this time. I guess I'll get it after the meeting. But just listening to what you're saying, reading this report, moving us from this allocation from the fixed bonds where we're at, which are very safe in this market, to something that's not as safe, right? That's going to supposedly give us more return. I was just saying an analysis should be done internally that you could do at your level, that you could present to us as trustees to see if we made the right move.
Okay, Trustee Dorsey, but think of it this way. When I report monthly, I report a snapshot, not just of the 1 month figure, but the year to date, the fiscal year to date, and the 1 year. So you'll be actually getting a rolling snapshot of, you know, whenever we do fund the portfolio, I mean, whenever we do reallocate back to equities, you'll be basically seeing a snapshot of current performance and past performance, if you look at it that way. So the trustees will get a sense and a gauge as to, you know, how the current portfolio, whenever we do allocate back to equities, how's that performing relative to how it was, let's say, a year ago or a few months ago or something like that.
I hear you loud and clear. Makita calls it the risk mitigating strategy. You remember that part of the letter that they sent us?
Makita spoke to risk mitigation in the sense of, as you just mentioned a while ago, not trading a large volume on a single given day, but kind of spreading it out over a certain period.
Mr. Henderson, did you conclude the report?
Yes, sir. That's the end of my report.
All right. Can I have a motion to accept the investment officer's report?
So moved.
I have a second. I think, Mr. Lega, did you second?
No, I did not.
Okay.
But I can.
Second.
All right, Mr. Nips, we have a motion to accept the investment officer's report. It was moved by Trustee Dorsey, seconded by Trustee Smith. Can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
Trustee Liger,
Yeah?
Trustee McDonald, absent. Trustee Russell, absent. Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Calwood,
Yes.
5 yes, 2 absent.
You said chairman.
Mr. Chairman?
Hang on.
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
Mr.
Yes,
Chairman?
Mr. Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Henderson.
I'd like to be excused from the remainder of the meeting. I have a next engagement that I have to go to.
All right. Thank you for your report and the business.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda, the approval of the Havenside Mall fiscal year 2023 budget. Budget was distributed to all the trustees on October 12th. It's vetted by the budget committee. Are there any questions, concerns with the contents of the document?
I had one question. This is for Havenside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to know how fast that, since we're going in season, and we had that fire at the one building that destroyed all the little carts, and they're so necessary for the upcoming season, how soon, or do we need to make a special appropriation and then get reimbursed back when the insurance money is settled out, so that they can have the carts for the Havenside for security reasons? That was one of the questions I had, because I didn't see it in here.
The answer is no. It's already in the budget, showing as a capital item to reimburse by the fire proceeds. So the quotes are being generated by the Chief of Security, Mr. Moed, as we speak. And I've told him to go ahead, and I know exactly the amount that he budgeted to go ahead and get at least two or three quotes and be able to select for you're talking about the trolleys and the golf carts and all of that. So it's in the budget to be reimbursed by insurance proceeds.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other trustees? Can I have a motion to approve the Havenside Mall fiscal year 2023 budget?
So move.
Second.
Moved by trustee Dorsey, seconded by trustee Smith. Can I have a roll call, please, Mr. Nibbs?
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
Trustee Liger,
Yeah.
Trustee McDonald, absent. Trustee Russell, absent. Trustee Smith, Trustee Smith,
Yes.
thank you.
Could you-
Chairman Calwood,
Yes.
5 yes, 2 absent.
Okay, that completes our agenda. Have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by trustee Dorsey, seconded by trustee Barry. Can I have a roll call, please, Mr. Nibbs?
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
Trustee Liger,
Yeah.
Trustee McDonald, absent. Trustee Russell,
Yes. Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Calwood,
Yes.
6 yes, 1 absent.
All right, this board meeting of October 19, 2022 is hereby adjourned. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.